Hello, and welcome to the Literary Nunnery 2018 Roundup. In 2017, I did one in July and one in December. This past year, I thought about doing one in July, didn't want to, so you just get one video for the whole year of reading from me. And you know what? I only took pictures of like 4 books, so this is gonna be not as short as you would think for only 4 books. So, the books that I took pictures with, which mean that I like, yes, for 100%, let's talk about them, let's recommend them, are The Prince in Disguise by Stephanie Kate Strom. Here's a picture of me enjoying it. Premise is this girl's older sister won like a reality something or other, fell in love with this guy, and now they're in his castle in Scotland and getting married. He's not actually a prince in disguise, he's like a duke. But the main girl, whose older sister is getting married, has a friend that she's met in Scotland, and he for sure wouldn't be lying about being royal, would he? The other one is Love, Life, and the List. I assume it's by Casey West. It seems a very Casey West book. And she has like this list of something. She wants to do this list. I don't remember what the list is, but I do remember feeling the feels, so if you want to feel some feels, that's a good one. This was back in February. It was like a year ago. I don't remember. I took a picture of Party of One by Joy Beth Smith. The only nonfiction book I read, it's about being single in the church. Not the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, just the wider Christian church. It was really good. I might have my new bishop read it. Or I might not. I don't know. There were some good things, some not as good things. Just some things to think about. And all of that was in the first half of the year. In the second half of the year, I read Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. She did Uprooted, which I loved. Here's a picture of me enjoying that back in the day. But Spinning Silver is just a different fantasy. It's a sort of retelling of Rumpelstiltskin, where the king and the trickster elf or whatever are the same, and set in a somewhat realistic... Anyway, I really, really enjoyed that one. And that was about it for books that I read all the way through and really liked. I mean, I checked out a bunch of stuff and it was okay, but it wasn't like what I would call mind-blowing. So most of what I read last year ended up being just one fanfiction, and it was novel length. So basically I just read one book 10 times from when I discovered it in September to when she took it down in November or whatever. So that's really good. It's called Pyeongchang and Prejudice. It's a retelling of Pride and Prejudice, modern figure skating. So Lizzie and Jamie Bennett are ice dancers, and they want to go to the Olympics, and Darcy doesn't think they can. And I loved it so much, obviously. And I have a link to it if you want. She took it down so that she could maybe make it into a real book. And so if it becomes a real book, I will read it and I will recommend it. But if not, either way, I'll send you the PDF if you're curious. The same author, whose name is A. Marguerite, wrote a Soulmate Pride and Prejudice, where Elizabeth Bennet has Fitzwilliam written on her wrist. And then she goes to Hunsford to visit Charlotte. She hears about Colonel Fitzwilliam. Things start to happen. What does Darcy think about that? Anyway, also novel length, also something I read many times. It was really good. I will send you the link if you want it. What other fanfiction did I get distracted from real books by? There's an Anne of Green Gables one, but it's not finished, so I can't recommend a book that's not finished, but if you want to read it, I can. It's What If Anne had a friend that was a boy at the orphanage, and so obviously the Cuthberts took the boy. What happened after that? And then as far as this year goes, it's the end of January. Happy New Year. I've been reading just a lot of Miraculous Ladybug fanfiction. It's just really hitting the spot. I've read so many. I've read probably 5 novels worth of Miraculous Ladybug with the plots. A lot of it's speculation, right? They don't actually know how the show's gonna go. And some of it, they just like, who cares? Let's just take some of the elements and just go our own way. But it's very interesting how they can take just the characters and the formula we know from the show Miraculous Ladybug, which I've seen like 2 episodes of. That's all you need to know the formula, to be able to just go and read like 5 novels worth of Miraculous Ladybug fanfiction. So that's what I'm spending all my time on these days. But this weekend I did read sort of 2 books, and since I have them here, I will show them. Fire and Heist by Sarah Beth Durst. I like Sarah Beth Durst, so... But it's a heist novel. I'm not that into heist novels, so I read this far, and then I read the end, and it was really good. I recommend it, especially if you're like... She described it, her original idea was Ocean's 11 with were-dragons. So if that interests you, which I don't know why it wouldn't, unless you don't like heists or whatever, check this out. And then today, I read The Wren Hunt by Mary Watson. Once a year, Wren is chased through the woods near her rural Ireland hometown in a warped version of a childhood game. Her pursuers, anyway, belong to the judges. She ends up as an intern with the judges because she's an augur, and she's trying to, they're trying to sabotage him or something. Anyway, it was really good. It was good storytelling, good fantasy building, and I can't tell if it is going to have a sequel. It was left somewhat resolved, but pretty open, so I'm hoping there's a sequel, because if this is the whole story, I would have a lot of feelings about that. But it was really good. So that was my 2018 roundup. Just a bunch of fanfiction and like 4 teen romance novels. Okay. Have a good year. Maybe I'll see you at the end of this year. Maybe I'll see you next year. Talk to you later.